I'm literally making so little sense right now. This is painful for me. Welcome to a Monday morning in my life. Good morning. Hugo is being so sassy this morning, aren't you, mate? Okay, we're just not going to talk right now. Also, I moved these plants up here temporarily because they were struggling in the heat. And look how perky they look now. I'm so happy. I actually don't remember what their names are. Worst plant mum ever, but it is getting out of control. I have way too many plants now. Okay, so this is where I just look at what I'm going to listen to on my walk, basically. So I usually, on a Monday, because it's a Monday morning today, I'll listen to the new Stephen Bartlett podcast, which is a guy called Will Storr today. I already had a look on my watch. So I probably listen to that, but some of my other favourite podcasts are the Not Overthinking with Ali Abdul. This Health Science Explained one is quite good. I've been listening to a few of theirs. School of Greatness with Lewis Howes, the Bulldog Gear podcast. I've been on that one, but they have some really great ones. Chris Willicks, which is the Modern Wisdom podcast, always has some good ones. Normalized Activity, and then the Feel Better, Live More are the ones I tend to listen to. Otherwise, I'll just listen to some music. I've really been into this guy called Teddy Swims recently. Oh, his voice is incredible. I think I came across him on TikTok, and apparently I'm like 10 years late to the party, but incredible. So I'm going to listen to this one on my walk. I'm going to need some headphones. I often get questions about which headphones I use. I have AirPods, but I actually mainly use these Huawei ones. I think these are the Pro 3. I'll just put you there for a second so I can face the camera. But yeah, I have the Huawei, and then I also have the AirPods. These ones are about 5 years old and they don't really retain their battery life too well anymore. And these ones also are noise cancelling. So now is my opportunity to actually go on my phone once I leave my flat. That's my little rule with myself. And while I'm on my walk, I will tend to do work, catch up with email, check client messages, check social media, that sort of stuff. But I try not to do that at all before I leave the house because I go on a morning walk every morning. A little bit of mouthful of cereal before we go. I keep mentioning this, but I am addicted to anything bran flake-esque. I don't know what it is, I'm just addicted. All right, we are good to go. Let's walk. See you later. Sass. Just pure sass. All right, I am back from my walk. I just made another coffee. The podcast was quite good. I listened to the whole thing. It was the author of the book Selfie. He was talking a lot about how status can affect so many things, such as your motivation or your drive, your happiness, and even your mortality. So it was quite interesting. My walk took a little bit longer than I expected because it is now 9:50, so 10 to 10. I ended up doing 10,000 steps. Wow, I went further than I thought. 7.5 kilometers. The reason it took so long is just it was such a nice morning and I was just like ambling around, taking my time. I had a coffee from Pret, which I don't do every morning, but I do have a Pret coffee subscription, which honestly I feel kind of is criminal. It's £25 a month and you can get up to 5 barista-made coffees a day. It's such a good deal, £25 a month. If you have a Pret near you, it saved me such a lot of money on coffee beans and not just that, but like almond milk and oat milk, because I used to go through so much of it because I just drink so much coffee. So I grabbed a coffee. The only thing that's a downside is that I don't think you can take your own reusable mug, whereas in Costa you can. So I don't like wasting paper cups. So try to limit how much I go, but it's such a good deal if you live near one. And what I'll often do is I'll go and work in a Pret. It's just a change of scenery, get to see some other faces. Anyway, while I was on my walk, I planned out my day. I responded to some emails that I needed to. I mainly responded to some clients. I'm really excited because today is Monday and it just so happens that quite a few of my clients' check-ins in terms of their progress photos and some of their stats are going to be done today, so I get to see how they're going. So it's always really exciting for me to see those come through. But anyway, I was just checking some of the messages from them, catching up with a few friends as well, and yeah, just wrote some notes on things I want to do. So I just write it in my notes on my phone. I don't use anything fancy, but I have a lot of notes. I just write down like random ideas. I'll take photos of stuff. I will screenshot things. I will come up with video ideas. So there's one video that I want to film all about the menstrual cycle and how it affects your training and your body. And so I'll write notes as I walk on that. Just saves me time to be able to do both at the same time. But I am a pen and paper gal through and through. I love a good old fashioned notebook. Like these are my jam. So even if I write things in my phone, I will nearly always write it up, which sounds very unproductive in terms of time, but it just helps me clear my thoughts and really just feel on top of what I'm doing. And I just enjoy the process of writing. So like here, for example, are some of the video ideas I have for the future in terms of YouTube. I'll have app programs in here that I want to do. These are topics for some mini podcasts for clients, have ebook ideas and all sorts of stuff. So all of that will get written down in here. So I think what I was saying is that when I get home from my walk, I will basically transfer some of the things that I've been thinking about or write myself a little action plan for the day. Mondays tend to be pretty good for me. They're like my quietest day of the week. I sort of tie up all my loose ends on a Sunday. So that means on the Monday morning, I just have a little bit more breathing space. I can just do some admin. I usually film on a Monday and also have a little bit of self-care. So I'll go and do things that I enjoy and just take that little bit of extra time. So I'm considering doing some exercise this morning. I would usually do my exercise in the evening. As I've gotten older, I just find I have more energy in the evening. It's like getting up is like quite a challenge. And I'm not even that old yet. So I train in the evenings mostly, but bouldering is something that I'm feeling like doing today. And I prefer to do that in the morning, especially because it's gonna be reasonably warm today and there's no air conditioning in the bouldering gym. It's about a 15-minute walk from here. And then on the way back from there, I will probably go and work in a cafe for the rest of the day. So that's kind of like my plan for the day. I have a lot of stuff filmed in terms of I have an entire program for the app that I need to edit all the clips, upload the clips, caption them, put up the info video, put the structure of the workouts in, sets and reps, all that sort of stuff. So that's gonna take a good couple of days. I have loads of YouTube videos that I need to edit. I have a couple of programs for clients I want to tweak. Plus, I have a very exciting trip in my mind that I need to book / finish planning. I am really rambly this morning. I'm so sorry. What I did want to mention is something that a client told me about quite a while ago now, and I would love to say that I'm really consistent with it, but that would be a lie. But she told me about this thing called the High Performance Planner, and so I ordered them on Amazon. I think I may have mentioned this in a video before, but basically every day you get a double page spread, and so it asks you a ton of questions that you can answer, and then it has an evening one as well, so you can fill this one out in the evening. One question I particularly like is this one here: people who I need to lead or connect with today and how to do it well. I always try to ask myself this every day and just think of someone in my life that maybe I haven't spoken to in a while, or who might be needing a little bit of help, or just would appreciate someone to randomly message them and say, hello, how are you? And I'm thinking of you. So I try and do that every single day because it's really, really important, like super important. And I know how much I appreciate it when people do that. And it's not as often as you think. Anyway, you get the point. I think it's a really good thing to do. I'm literally making so little sense right now. This is painful for me. Welcome to a Monday morning in my life and my brain. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drink my coffee. I'm gonna transfer the notes that I have made into my book so I can have a clear idea of what I want to achieve today and some thoughts that I need written down. While I'm doing that, I'm going to do some stretching. Now, I do not want you to think that this is a regular part of my morning routine, because it's not. Quite frankly, and I'm sorry if you're out there and you love stretching and mobility work, I'm not the biggest fan. Like, I really just don't like it. And therefore, I am extremely inflexible and not great with mobility either. However, my back injury means that I have to do these things, especially if I want to go bouldering. So I'm gonna go and do that, and that's probably gonna take me about 10 minutes. So I'm gonna do that at the same time as writing my notes up, and then kill two birds with one stone. Once I've done that, I'm going to get ready for the day and then probably head to the bouldering gym, like I said. So I'm gonna stop talking now. I'm gonna finish my coffee and my banana and do some stretching. Okay, I've literally just sat here for the last 10 minutes scrolling on my phone. It's going down, I'm getting up, we're gonna stretch. Also having some water because that's a responsible thing to do. However, I am like a child and I won't drink it unless it's got squash in it. So, cheers. All right, it is now time to get ready for the day. I have a mirror here, so if I keep looking over here, that is why. Now, if you've come for any type of makeup tutorial or getting ready tutorial, this is not the place, because I don't have a clue how to do my makeup. And to be honest with you, I rarely do wear much makeup at all. But as you may be able to see on the camera, like here, under my eye and around my ears, on my neck here. My psoriasis is a bit flared up at the moment. I'm not sure exactly what is causing it, to be honest with you. I have a suspicion it might be because it's warm. I'm sleeping with a fan on in the nighttime and it's blowing on my face, and it seems so trivial, but I think that actually might be what's causing it. So I'm kind of tossing up between whether I just lump it and deal with it as is, or try to sleep with the fan off. But this week it's going to be a little bit hotter again, and we don't have AC or anything, although AC would probably do the same thing. So I'm not really sure, but anyway, it is what it is. What will help is managing stress, which means not looking at it. And well, see, that bit there is actually really bad. But managing stress, staying hydrated, watching what I eat, avoiding the triggers that I know cause it, and also getting some sun on my skin. That being said, I just put on this one, Invisible UV Flawless Poreless Primer, because it's got SPF 50 in it. And then, literally all I'm going to do is cover up these little spots of psoriasis. Honestly, like the tiniest amount of concealer. I'm just gonna do that, and to be honest with you, I just do that and a bit of mascara, and I call it a day. Sometimes I put bronzer on if I feel like I need a bit of a pep me up tan. One thing that I love getting done, which I just haven't been able to do for months because of my psoriasis, is just get my eyebrows done. I like to get them dyed and waxed, that's it, nothing major. But I just can't at the moment because of my psoriasis, because it'll just make it worse. And we don't need that. We do not need that. For my eyebrows, I've been using this, which is the Thick It Stick It by NYX. I also had they had like a glue. I got rid of it now because it was getting older. But this just thickens up and darkens your eyebrows a little bit, but more so puts them where they want to be a little bit more. My eyebrows are the bane of my life. I mentioned this in one of the YouTube lives I did once, because someone mentioned that they were looking good, and my gosh, they cause me so much hassle because I don't know how to do them. They are definitely 100% sisters, not twins. My whole face is like that. Actually, one side of my jaw is like a totally different shape than the other, and it's always been that way. A bit like much of my body, I guess, because like one of my legs is longer than the other and one of them is shorter than the other. No, that didn't make sense. One of them is bigger than the other in terms of width. I've mentioned this so many times. God, I'm like a broken record. I'm gonna put some mascara on. As you guys can tell, makeup is not my strong point. My camera card was full, so it cut out, but this is the finished look. So I'm gonna finish this coffee because there's a tiny little bit left, pack my bag for bouldering, pack my computer and everything that I need for work, and then I am going to get on the move. And that's pretty much my standard morning routine. I get asked to film it a lot, and I get asked what I do and how I am productive. I wouldn't say this is the most productive morning routine. It's not one of those routines where I'm waking up at 5 a.m. every morning, meditating, drinking ridiculous things. It's just a very realistic routine for me, and it's taken a little while to kind of get my non-negotiables, which for me really would be not going on my phone super early, and I also don't sleep with my phone in the room, so I put that in the kitchen, and then I have my watch by my bedside. So not going on my phone before I leave the house, and especially not when I wake up straight away, because that is, I always notice when I do that, I just have a worse day just with my mindset. And then secondly, walking or just getting outside and going somewhere, even if it's just a really short walk around the block, like I will always do that. And giving myself an opportunity to plan out my day. But other than that, everything else is kind of flexible and pretty fluid, as are my days. And I know that that's a luxury with my job, that I have the ability to manipulate my days. I don't have to be at work for 9 a.m. But to be honest with you, when I worked full time, to be honest with you, I've had lots of different jobs. A lot of them were kind of like normal working hours, but for 3 years I was on night shifts and I was at university, and my morning routine was still very much the same. It was just later on in the day. I'd be working from 8 till 4 or from 10 till 6, but most of the time 8 till 4. I'd be in bed for 5:30. I'd usually get up around 9:30, 10 o'clock, and I'd do the same, but I'd just be a lot slower. So I'd still go for a walk, have my coffee. But reading is something that I go in and out of quite easily. It's something that I actually genuinely have to proactively work on, but really, really helps me, even if it's just a couple of pages of the book. So yeah, I'm really going to do that. There'll probably be a few little clips, but otherwise I'm going to sign off this video. I hope you enjoyed this morning routine. Oh, I didn't mention breakfast. So obviously I had that snack, but it changes. Sometimes I'll have breakfast really early, sometimes I'll wait and have a later breakfast, and sometimes I don't have breakfast and just have a really big lunch. Recently, I've just not really been hungry in the morning, and I've been having a bigger lunch and then a really big dinner. So I'm probably not gonna eat too much today, but I had a banana, I had a couple of spoonfuls of coconut yogurt, I already had some of those bran flakes, I've had a couple of coffees, and I honestly don't really feel like I need anything right now. But in terms of breakfast, again, like everything else, it's super fluid, it changes all the time. Sometimes I'm like in a real porridge mood, and I do that for 3 months solid, and then sometimes it's like yogurt bowls, sometimes it's just cereal, sometimes omelets. I go through phases. I think you guys know this, I've mentioned this loads of times. But anyway, I'm gonna stop talking, I'm gonna sign off this video. I'm gonna go bouldering, let's hope for a good session. I'm not gonna go too crazy because of my back, but just get some gentle movement in and just work on my form and technique. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you have an amazing day or morning, whenever you're watching this, and I will speak to you soon.